Have you ever noticed how some of the wealthiest people own dozens of properties, but their names never show up on the public records? That's not an accident. It's called a land trust, and it's one of the best kept secrets of the rich when they're real estate investing. In this video, I'm breaking down the top 5 reasons high net worth individuals use land trusts and how you can use the same strategies to protect your property, your privacy, and your legacy. If you own real estate or plan to, you need to hear this. Land trusts aren't just for billionaires and millionaires, they're for everybody. They're legal, low cost, and incredibly powerful. So why haven't you heard of them? Because the people who use them prefer it that way. Reason number 1, privacy of ownership. When a property is held in a land trust, your name doesn't show up in the county records. The title is held in the name of the trust, not you personally. Now, there is a trustee, but you can use an anonymous entity or a third party, such as your attorney, to actually have a name on that property. So if someone searches for your name, they won't find a list of addresses, rental properties, or vacation homes. That's huge when it comes to privacy, security, and keeping a low profile. In fact, there's a bunch of recent cases of athletes and entertainers where, because they were off in a different location, people could see that, and somebody was able to look up where they lived, they would go rob their house while they were playing the game or playing their concert. It happened. Go look it up. Right? The rich don't want stalkers, gold diggers, or opportunistic lawyers knowing what they own, and neither should you. Number 2, lawsuit deterrence. If somebody can't find out what you own, they're less likely to sue you, plain and simple. But land trusts don't prevent lawsuits. Well, in Florida, they have a statute that actually gives you protection, so it could, but they make you a less attractive target. So, for example, if a tenant, neighbor, or other opportunistic person can't trace ownership back to you, it's harder to build a case or even know who to sue. The rich use land trusts as legal camouflage. In a lawsuit-happy world, that's a smart move. Number 3, you want to separate ownership and control. In a land trust, the trustee holds legal title. They don't get the benefit. That's the beneficiary, which is you. And you keep all the benefits like the rents, the profits, and the tax breaks. This split gives you the flexibility. You can now assign your beneficial interest, transfer it privately or anonymously gift it, even without going through records in the public records. You can actually give it to a different entity. It's like having the power of ownership without the exposure. Number 4, easier transfers and estate planning. When property is inside a land trust, you don't need to go through the probate process to pass it on. You can simply update the beneficiary designation. No court, no delays, no big public record. Land trusts can also be layered with the LLCs that you set up for asset protection, or living trusts for even stronger protection and smoother generational wealth transfers. That's how the rich pass assets silently, efficiently, and legally. Let me explain this just for a second. I can have a land trust that has title to a property. I can use an anonymous LLC. For example, I can use a Wyoming, let's say, call it ABC LLC, that does not have my name attached to it. It's sitting as the trustee. And I'd say I have 10 properties. I have a land trust. I might name them sequentially. I might name them just after maybe my animals, or I might name it after the address of the property. That's my preferred route. I might use the street number and name or something so that I can differentiate them. And I could have an LLC be the beneficiary so that I have asset protection around it as well. This is an easy way to make protection and also avoid certain types of transfer taxes that often occur when you transfer directly into an LLC. So, for example, I'm standing here in Clark County, Nevada. I'm right outside of Las Vegas. And if I transfer into an LLC, tax-free. If I transfer that property back out into my name, there's a transfer tax at the county level. A land trust avoids that because I can just move the beneficial interest. It's so much more powerful. Or if I do need to take the property back into my name, for example, if I'm refinancing the property and I need the lender is requiring that it be in my personal name for that day, there's no transfer tax. And so that's a pretty big thing. 5th reason, and this one's powerful, strategic control with those LLCs like we just talked about. The rich often pair land trusts with LLCs to get the best of both worlds. Anonymity of the trust, liability protection from the LLC. So here's how it all works. The land trust holds title to the property. The LLC is named as the beneficiary. You own the LLC, or you own a trust that owns the LLC, or you own a trust that owns an LLC that owns the LLC. For example, if we're using Wyoming, we want complete anonymity and we want to make it so nobody can touch, even take away my LLC, no matter what happens. Like if kids get into a car accident and they sue me, or I get sued for something, they can't take the LLC that owns the LLCs, that's the beneficiary of my land trust, away. You get the idea. This gives you privacy, legal protection, and flexibility with taxes, all while shielding your name from both the deed and liability. It's called a next level move. But let's recap the top 5 reasons the rich use land trusts. Number 1, privacy of ownership. Number 2, lawsuit deterrence. If they can't find it, seems to keep you out of trouble. Number 3, separation of ownership and control. You can actually have all the benefits, and the ownership that shows up in a public record is not your name. Number 4 is easier estate planning. And number 5 is layering it together with your LLCs for asset protection. So if you're investing in real estate or already own property, this is a tool worth understanding. You don't have to be rich to use a land trust, but using one might help you stay rich. That's more important. Hit that like button if you've learned something new. Subscribe for more strategies the rich don't want to talk about, or drop a free consult down in the comments and we'll see. I'll send you a link and you can determine whether a land trust works for you as well.